can either have your knees together or wide, arms forward, and arms back. All of those are valid. If you've got a student where sometimes they have this, they need a bolster, you'll have students where sometimes just lack of flexibility, they just need to put their head on a block or
what do you do for the really tight, like the guys where their hips are like,
you can put a bolster under. Yeah, come on here. And you can put a bolster in the front.
Yeah.
And a bolster right there.
Okay. Yeah.
So that they have a point of reference to press back on.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just language it where letting them know that it's normal, so they don't, because I think that's the hardest thing is where, especially in the yin practices or anything where there's that insecurity of, oh my God, we've got, you know, I have to use 4 bolsters right here. So you just let them know that it's okay. And you get people interested in where they're feeling the stretch as opposed to needing to be more than they are. Does that make sense? Yes. All right, so let's just have you come into child's pose for that adjustment. And usually if someone's pretty tight, yeah, you can adjust them, but I always start with breath cues. And like anything we're doing, you want to look at someone's body to see what's going on. If someone's knee sensitive, also just being aware of that. So here are a couple different ones you can do. You can take your hands here and just start to draw down. Now, how does that feel? Okay. And some people, it feels good for about a moment. I'm not going to do it, but where you sit back and you lay back on someone, do you know that one?
Yeah.
So that one can be helpful, but I find that if someone does it on me for longer than 4 seconds, I'm like, okay, I'm done. All right. If you know someone well, you could massage, like just do like the pressure points, you know, in there, right there. And then another one that can feel really good is just right in here.
Yeah.
So this isn't necessarily an adjustment, but it's just getting into, you can feel that, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing that you can do is hand on sacrum and then lengthen the spine. And just being aware of the neck bones though, because you don't want to like push right on the neck bones. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the other one, especially because you'll have a lot of students that, I mean, your shoulders are pretty good, but they'll just be so tight in their shoulders, and it's like you could just get right in here. I mean, your shoulders are really good, but God, I mean, sometimes, but it's like you can just touch someone and it's like, you know, right where the neck and the shoulders meet, right in here. Some people are going to have a lot of stuff right here and the trapezius. And I think where you would choose different adjustments is massage type adjustments aren't appropriate for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like, who isn't going to misconstrue it?
Yeah.
And who isn't going to misconstrue it, where they're not going to feel invaded and they're also not going to feel like you're hitting on them.
Yeah.
You know? But it's just like on the flip side, it's like some people can have, they won't even know how tight their shoulders are. And then you start to massage it and they're like, whoa. And then you can even be a part of the class. Like, let's say it's a private client. You start to massage that and then you say, oh, and let me teach you about the anterior serratus muscles and how you can actually use those more so you stop building up trapezius muscles. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So, you know, and it's, again, when you got a relationship with long-term students or private students, you know, suddenly, you know, the body just becomes the body. So you can just start to work with the body.
Yeah.
In general, if it's just, you know, maybe it's the only time you're going to see them or they have certain insecurities about being touched, then just pressing on the low back can be really helpful. And when in doubt, breath cues.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things I got from your training is the breath cues.
Yeah.
And I love, like in child's pose, I'll take a deep inhale, breathe into the sides of the ribs, like the space between the highs. You exhale, can you move the tops of the sit bones, whatever. And that, my
it changes the body.
It changed my teaching. It changed and it's amazing because the thing I have to write things down, but with the languaging that you use, because it just makes so much sense in my body and when I see body, I don't need to write stuff,
Right. Well, because we're talking, it's
I
simple.
literally look at and it makes left. Inhale, lengthen this way. Exhale, move it. Exhale, slide the shot. It just makes it's so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to practice that one on me?
Oh,
or
look, that's
I think
okay.
you got it.
Yeah.